story takes place in 1997, right? 22 years ago, is that right? So I didn't have a smartphone, I didn't have Google, I didn't have GPS, I didn't have a travel guide. I didn't have my music all in one spot. When I traveled, I had to take a CD player and then pick like my favorite CDs that I could fit in this little book. And you couldn't even fit that many. I mean, I can't even imagine traveling like that. How did I even get anywhere? So my best friend from high school and I decided to go on a trip to the UK because we loved everything British. We loved Morrissey and the Smiths and Blur, and we loved Ab Fab, and we loved everything British. We were just those Americans that thought every boy with a British accent was cute. So we decided to go. And we landed in London, and we read our Let's Go UK edition, and it was where to go in London. It was oh, these are the dangerous areas, and we're whatever, we're from Philly, they've got nothing on us. Even the most dangerous areas in London can't be that bad. And it was kind of true, and everything and everyone we met was so charming. There was this homeless guy who was Sebastian change so I can get pissed, and we're that's such a clever way of asking for money. Of course, have some coins. Oh, these are worth $20. Oops. So we thought, well, hey, while we're here, may as well, he probably would be the best guy to ask if he has some cannabis, because we're on vacation, whatever. So for 20 pounds, he sold us this little brown rock of something gross, and we didn't know what it was. And I felt really stupid. I'm is this fecal material? Is this a piece of dirt? It didn't smell like anything. I felt really swindled, but I couldn't Google it. So we took the train up to Edinburgh, Scotland, and that was the highlight of my trip because I had recently watched the movie Trainspotting, and it was, and still is, one of my favorite movies, and Ewan McGregor starred in it, and he was this skinny Scottish guy, and he partied, and yes, it was about heroin addiction and poverty and all that, but they had these accents that were just amazing. So we went to our hostel in Edinburgh and thought, let's go find a local pub and find a local Scottish band. It will be like going out in Philly, only we'll do it in Scotland, so it'll be more fun. So we got some tweezers and a lighter, and we held this rock of hash and lit it, and it started to burn, and it smelled like the right stuff. So we just inhaled it, held a compact to our eyes to see are they getting bloodshot? Is this in fact working? Because we couldn't pull out a smartphone and Google how do you smoke hash? We didn't know. So we went out to the bar and of course sat in the back, and I think we continued to use our tweezers, rock hash, and lighter to use that. And we noticed people were staring at us, but we thought, is it because of what we're doing or maybe we're just being paranoid? But these two guys came over to us, and one of them had long hot pink hair, think like Kurt Cobain, and the other guy kind of looked like Jesus. And they started talking to us, and they were intimidated, they told us, because they thought we were English, but it turned out we were American. And of course we were so flattered because oh, look at us, we don't look like tourists. Oh, not at all. And we were the type of girls that this is why you hear stories of dumb Americans getting arrested overseas, because they think that would be 20 years ago sitting in the back of a bar in Philly, just lighting hash on tweezers and just thinking that would be okay. But we were overseas, we thought, oh, whatever, anything goes. So we had this wonderful trip, and it was the entire time we were walking through these cities of England and Scotland, and Morrissey and the Smiths were playing in our heads the whole time. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, today by your side, what a heavenly way to die. We were in heaven. But I also wanted to experience this whole Scottish thing, and I thought, all right, these guys are really skinny. Surely they're heroin users, and this is going to be just like the movie Trainspotting. And so when they invited us back to our flat, I jumped at the chance. I'm okay, I'm good. I was in the medical field. I knew about I knew it wouldn't freak me out. I also knew it was kind of dangerous, and I thought, well, I've heard people smoke heroin. You don't have to necessarily inject it. And if anyone's seen the movie, I was also hoping there wouldn't be the scene where the baby dies and it's all bad. But just be kind of a cool experience before I started grad school to just have gone to Scotland and whatever. So when they invited us back to our flat, I was so excited because I was as Iggy Pop said in the song in the soundtrack, like, I had a lust for life. I just wanted to, like, you only live once and try everything. So we went back to their flat, and they were a bunch of cool guys, and they were sitting around playing music and listening to music, and they had these little brown, like, they burned hash, and they poured it into, like, a rolled cigarette and smoked it that way. And we're like, oh, right, that's how you do it. So in the morning, the sun came up over the most beautiful city, Edinburgh, with castles and green grass, and I realized that when I had told my friends there about the movie and kind of hoping I could experience all that, they told me that they were kind of shocked. They're like, no, we're nothing like the movie Trainspotting. Nobody here does drugs, and sorry to disappoint you. But I still had the most wonderful morning after. And as Marcy said, I don't ever want to go home.